Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Crafty Hour number 34. Hello, hello. I am on here a couple minutes early. Pardon me, I've got a frog in my throat. So that we can kind of get started right away because it is a crazy day at your local scrapbook store. We have Lawn Fawn release day, and we are expecting a skid of new product any minute. It is kind of crazy. I don't know what we were thinking doing a crafty hour on Lawn Fawn Day. I don't think we thought that far ahead. So good morning and welcome. Deanna here, and I'm going to walk you through my 4 cards of our Remember kit for today. So I'm just going to hang tight here for a few minutes till we get everybody on board. I'm going to talk a little bit about these cards. I did have you just do a little bit of homework. I had you separate them all. So that is something I did immediately. I just took all of my goodies and separated them and kind of put them into little baggies so that they were all ready to go. So hopefully you've got those all separated. You should have 8 little piles, and you will have some little leftovers. So do not panic. We may grab some of those little leftovers, but don't worry about it. So we sorted them. We put the extras in a bag. And then this was optional. I'm going to add some gold foil to mine. So I just grabbed a bunch of, hopefully I grabbed enough. You know what? I don't even know what I grabbed, but grab some gold so that we can also add a little bit of flavor to this. So hopefully you've done your homework. If not, of course, you can always come back to this video. It will be available. We aren't starting yet, just chit-chatting and getting you guys all organized because it's a busy day today. Lawn Fawn release day, and it's a little crazy. You also will have a full pack of the enamel dots. Those were included in your kit. Courtney and I added those in for everybody. I cut half mine so that I only use my half. And these we're going to just kind of dress up our cards because I always feel that they need a little extra dimension for those. So have those handy. And we're gonna get started in just a moment. So good morning. Thank you guys for hopping on. We are going to be working with Crafty Hour number 34 this morning. Courtney will have her Crafty Hour this afternoon at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central Time, and that will be on Scrapbook and Memories Facebook page. So you'll head on over there to do her cards. And we're going to do 4 cards with me and 4 cards with Courtney. I think she's doing all 4 cards this afternoon. All right, so we're just going to wait a moment, and then I'll talk a little bit about the kit and about how we kind of envisioned this kit to go. Now, a quick little chit-chat while we're waiting. I don't know if you've got this one. Mine's looking a little messy. This is the next Crafty Hour that is on March 7th. It is loaded with goodies. Yesterday, Diane brought me in her cards because she's going to do this Crafty Hour. I'm signing up. Her cards are freaking amazing. She's going to make 2 with you, and then she's got 2 inspiration cards. Oh my gosh, I'm just like blown away, and we love how we see everybody sees their ingredients slightly different. So if you have not signed up for this, we are getting close to sold out. I'm not sure. I didn't ask Courtney if she has more of next ones, but please call us after the video. That's going to be your best bet because Stacy is away this week. Phone us and get in on this. Easter cards, they are stunning. What was the box called that you had your dies in? Kelly, those are the die boxes that I bring in from Crafter's Companion. It is the power packs, and I have more of those coming. They should be here next week, so stay tuned for one of our Together at 2s next week. We're going to have a promotion on them. I need more. I keep all of my dies in those boxes. They're fantastic. So I'll talk about that next week during our Together at 2. Okay, so definitely make sure you get your Easter one. They're beautiful, beautiful cards. Great for spring, great for Easter. That is our next one that's going to be on March 7th. So we've got lots coming up. Now, tomorrow we are announcing a very special Crafty Hour. You'll have to tune in. It is so special. I'm going to give you a couple little hints. It's not even in North America yet. Actually, that's the only hint I'm going to give you. It's not even in North America yet. So I managed to get a sample to show you, but we won't get it till next week. We are going to process orders tomorrow because we know it's going to sell out. And the fact that I said it's not in North America yet tells you that A, it's a new release, and B, it's not from North America. That is your little hint for the day. Hopefully you like that one. Okay, we're going to get started. I'm going to talk a little bit about this kit. Before I do, I'm going to put the homework away because hopefully you all saw that email about the homework. This is a kit that Simple Stories puts together. It is a simple kit. That's why it's called Simple Cards. These cards are under the collection Remember, which is a great, beautiful collection. And they make simple cards. As you notice, you don't need your trimmer. You really don't need a lot. It is what I like to call a lick and stick. Okay, you can follow these instructions just like that and make them a lick and stick. But Courtney and I both thought that we would like to show you how you can change these up. So I'm going to add some foil. For the most part, 3 of my cards are going to be the same. But the other ones, one of them, the other one, I am going to change it. Okay, so I'm going to be responsible for 4 of these cards. I'm going to do one exactly like it is, just to show you. I'm going to do a couple where I'm going to add some gold foil, which is where I asked you to bring in some gold foil. And then the very last one, I am going to change it completely. Now, did I follow the instructions? No, I'll be honest. I'm a visual learner. So for me, this is way too many words. Good gracious, way too many words. So I didn't follow these. I just kind of put them away. So that's what we're going to do. Now, if you have not picked up this kit, we do still have some in the store. So you can call us after our Together at 2. I know Courtney still has some, so you're going to want to give her a call. And I would have these cards kind of on hand so that if you do need one, you are ready to go. Okay, are we ready? So I'm going to start with the first one. Now, the first one is, I cut these out so I can show you. This is the first one. I want you to find all of the goodies that go with this one. The film strip one, that is the one that we're going to start with. I cut these out of my front cover because Courtney and we did a schoolyard pick on what we got to make. So I just cut the pictures out from here because, like I said, I'm a visual learner. So go ahead and find this one. And we're going to start really easy. We are just going to make this the same way. We, of course, will add some foam tape. They didn't even add foam tape. Oh, my heart be still. So go ahead and grab all of the ingredients that you had pre-done, separated for this. And you'll also have found card bases. So you want to make sure that you've got a card base handy. And I'm going to score it because the score line isn't really detailed on this one. So I'm just going to give it a good score. And, like happens sometimes, they don't line up perfectly. I never, ever stress that. I'm just going to trim off a little bit so that it is perfect. Good morning, Courtney. Happy release day for Lawn Fun. It's crazy. I was just saying, I don't know what we were thinking when we did this one. So card number 1, we are just going to copy it. We are not adding anything extra. I thought this one was perfect, exactly how it is. So essentially, we're just going to start gluing. We're going to start with our largest one first. This is the back panel, and it should cover it completely. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just take our glue and glue it. So card number 1, each card we're going to amp up just a little bit, change it up a little bit more each time, but this one, we're just starting normal. Good morning, Gina. Welcome to our crafty hour. Okay, so we are just going to go ahead, glue that one on direct. Of course, you could always ink these. There's so much that you can do, and that's our goal, is to show you how to take a very simple card kit that we did not design and amp it up. Amp it up. Okay, so that one's glued. Then we're going to take our long floral pattern, and all we're going to do is glue that right down the left-hand side, flush with the top and the bottom, and flush with the left side. We're going to do this one with glue. So we'll get to the foam tape, I promise. You know, when I was looking at these, I'm like, there's just no foam tape. Courtney is saying that you're going to need some brown ink for her portion. So do make sure that you got your brown ink handy. I thought the same thing when I looked at these. They feel like they need a little bit of light inking. You can see that this has a little bit already, but not every part does. Okay, so step 2 is done. And then we're going to take this floral one and we're going to glue it flat across the bottom. And yes, so far, all of these are flat. Okay, so just copying exactly this one. We start out with the exact way they did it, and each card will amp it up. Okay, so far all we've done is glued. That's so far all, we have done. Just lick and stick and glued. Okay, so now we're going to take it up a snippet. We're going to take this piece, this mustard piece, and it goes across the card. It's going to cover up that seam, and we're going to do foam tape on this one. Now you can do your foam tape, you can do your foam strips. I think I can do foam tape on this. And of course, you don't have to, but this is where we'll add a little bit of dimension and some foam tape. So we're going to take that, we're going to put some foam tape across it, and I'm just going to kind of put it right in the center of those two papers. Just give it a little bit of dimension right there. So first paper, second paper, third paper, all glued flat. And then our dark mustard, dark gold strip to cover those seams we're going to do with foam tape. Now the next piece is our film strip piece. And as you can see, there's a angle on the top. So what we're going to do, that's going to cover up this seam. We are going to put it at the top and bring it across, and I'm going to put it right about there, just to where I cover that pattern paper, and it's going to come right down. We're going to do this one also with foam tape. So we're going to put foam tape here. We're going to ignore that little bit, and I'll put a little bit of foam tape on the back side. So we don't want to put any foam tape where it hits that mustard border, because then it's just going to be like a big it's going to be like a big speed bump, and we don't want to do that. So grab out your foam tape, and we're going to add some there, and I'm not going right to the bottom. I'm going to add some there. And then I'm going to just take a little piece, just a little tear for that. And hopefully I've covered avoided that spot. I'm going to actually tear that back a bit. Avoid that spot where it's going to go across the border. So foam tape, and then a little bit on the bottom. And just to where we cover that paper. So as soon as you see where that paper ends, that's where, see right there, we're just going to cover it. So I'm going to put it right there and bring it across, and that's perfect. Okay, now if you happen to be following the instructions, which, like I mentioned, I did not, all of this is glued flat. So you do have options. You can glue these flat, but I really think just adding a little bit of foam tape here and there really makes a difference. Oh, thank you, Gina. That is very sweet of you. Okay, so now in the kit, you will have found that there is this beautiful floral with the butterfly. And again, it's just a die cut. It's all cut out. And we're going to be putting that right about there. Right about there. Now, I don't want this to be super foam taped. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of foam tape just here where it's going to hit that striped paper. So on the left half, I'll just put normal glue. On the right half, I will add some foam tape. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape right here. Hopefully that'll be in the right spot. And then we're going to add a little bit of glue to the rest. Okay, so I've got a combination of glue and foam tape. And that is going to come up a little bit from the bottom. We're going to kind of come underneath. I think right about there is great. Kind of underneath the words that say so very sorry. You can see how this will be flat. And then we've added foam tape there. Should be perfect. Okay. How's everyone doing? Right? This is what I said. It's a lick and stick. Super, super easy, this one. Now, the butterfly is a chipboard butterfly. So unfortunately, I am not going to bend up the wings like I've always shown you how to do because I think with chipboard, it's going to crack and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to put some foam tape on the back of that. Just kind of like that. And that is going to go above the so very sorry. Just like that. Okay, and we just added a little bit of foam tape on that side. Looking good, folks. See how easy these can be. Now, the with sympathy, of course, I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to the back of that. I don't need a lot. Let's see if my foam tape, if I can, oh yeah, that will work. We'll just add a little bit on the back. And that is, again, a chipboard piece that says with sympathy. We're going to put this kind of right, like here. Let me put it on and then I'll show you. I might move it over just a bit. All right. So it's going to kind of go on top of the flowers. You can see that I've kind of got it. Actually, to me, it looks a little crooked. So let me move it up a bit. There we go. It's kind of right at the top of that mustard strip. All right. And then we've got a couple of little hearts. And these are the chipboard hearts. One of them is a moss green and one of them is kind of, I don't even know. It's like a corally, maybe a peachy might be a better description. So we have two of those. I don't know about you, but when I was pulling all of these for my baggies, it was kind of like a search and find to see where all of these were. So the largest one I'm going to do flat. So that is the green one. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to kind of bring it down a little bit. And that is just flat. I'm going to pop up the peach one. So that one's flat. And then we're going to bring in some foam tape. And I just really need a little tear of it. Not very much. And you'll notice that I'm only going to put it on the right side. So if I flip it over, it's only on the right side. And there is a reason for that. It is going to kind of overlap the first one a little bit. All right. So technically, this card is done. It's exactly like they've told us to do, except that the only thing I added so far was the foam tape. That is it. So far that one is done. Isn't it just a beautiful card? Very simple, but very, very pretty. Now, I always like to add enamel dots when I do their kits. And so I can either add a variety or I can just add, you know, a solid of one. I think I'm going to go with the lighter kind of greeny mustard one. And I'm just going to do what I call a splattering. So 3 different sizes. Well, I'd be able to go over your instructions a bit later. Yes, Claire. So this is what is called a crafty hour. So kind of not really a class, but kind of a just come and craft along with us. And these videos will not go away. So you can watch it on replay and then rewatch it and do it totally at your own speed. There's absolutely no worry. With classes, we do not go this fast. So if you've ever been in one of our classes, you will definitely know we always make sure that you keep everybody together. But with our crafty hours, that's the idea. We have 1 hour. We're going to create 4 cards, and you can either craft with us or go back and watch on your own. We take a simple kit and then we jazz it up. All right, so is that good? That is card number 1. We have done it exactly like they said, except that we added foam tape and a few enamel dots. I love it. All right, so let's put that one aside. And we are going to move on to a second one. Let's do this one next. I think we'll do this one next. This is the love one. L-O-V-E, love. And we are going to change this one up a little bit. Remember I said at the top of the hour, we are going to keep kind of adding extra things as we go to jazz up the cards. So I want you to find the one that has the little postage stamp, all of the little goodies that go with it. I had you pull all of those by card. So this is the love card. This is very different than the crafty hours that we normally do because really there isn't a lot of pre-cutting. There isn't a lot of, it's really easy, I think. It's just really easy. But we want to show you how to take those kits and do something different. Right? The foam tape makes a difference. I'm so glad that you see that, Carol. Because some people, when they take my class for the very first time, they're like, oh my God, she uses a lot of foam tape. And then you get it, right? Then you get it. It really does change it up compared to normal. Okay, so hopefully you've grabbed a card base. Got a card base. And then we have all of our extras. Now, this is where I had you pull the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So that is for the front of your card. So if you hold it up, it should fit on your card with a little border of white all the way around. This was an add-on. It was not part of your kits, and it's optional. So if you don't want to do it, by gosh, you do not have to do it. There is never a pressure for that. It is optional. We're just going to take these kits up a notch. Okay, and if you haven't bought a kit, I mentioned it at the top of the hour, but I know a few of you have come in since, or you want extra kits, because again, I think this is something that's so great to have, then please call us, call Courtney. We'll get you extra kits. I had a friend last night that told me she has to put her dog down this week. So these cards are good for everything, not just, you know, like this could be a sympathy card, but it could be also for when you have somebody that has to, you know, loses their pet. These are just great all occasion, not all occasion, but sympathy style cards. So, okay. So we've done that. Now we're going to get out the trimmer. Now, if you have not done the gold, then you don't need to trim. Okay, so if you have opted for no gold, then all you're going to do is glue this floral paper on the proper way. But I chose for gold, so I need to trim down my paper now. And we're going to trim down that paper to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to grab my trimmer. 5 1/4 first. because right now it measures, actually, you know what? Yeah, 5 1/4. That's the right measurement. 5 1/4 first. Okay. That's your first trim. And then we're going to trim it to 4 inches. And it doesn't matter whether you cut from the top or the bottom. Nobody's going to notice. Now when we attach it, we're going to get that gold all the way around. You're really going to see how this card is going to change by just adding those little pops of gold. Optional, if you don't want to do that, then you're just going to glue it right to the card, no trimming. Okay. And that looks perfect. Okay, I'm just going to give you a minute to get that on, and then we're going to go to the next one. And we are going to need to do, for those that have added the gold, we're going to be needing to trim down quite a few things to that 5 1/4 measurement. All right. So let's take the scallop piece, and we're going to trim it down to 5 1/4. Now you're only doing this if you added the gold. So I'm going to take it to 5 1/4 and cut. 5 1/4. And I'm going to glue this across our card a little bit closer to the top. Not a huge amount closer, but a little bit closer to the top. Not quite even, just a smidge up. And we are going to do this one flat. We're going to take the next layer and go with the foam tape, but we're going to do this one flat. A little bit, just a hair closer to the top portion. Okay, and you should see the gold on either end if you opted for that option. Okay, so I'm just a little bit closer to the top. That's going to leave us a little bit more room that we're going to need, of course, in a moment. So far, so good. All right. Now, I also had you bring in a gold piece. This is the gold piece that I think should be 2 1/4. Yep, that was right there in your homework. 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And what we're going to do, that's going to fit, we're just going to smidge off a little bit of blue. So let's first trim the length of this to 5 1/4. 5 1/4. Right now it measures 5 1/2, so we're going to take it off 1/4 of an inch to 5 1/4. Okay, now I'm going to slice off just a hair of that blue. If you don't want to do that, you can use a bigger piece of gold, but I'm just going to take a little bit of blue off of both sides. And when I say a little, I mean like a hair. Just like this much. Just a little bit. The goal is that when we put this on, we're going to see gold foil at the top and gold foil at the bottom. But you'll notice that I don't see any gold foil on the short ends, and that's perfect. So this was a piece I had you do for your homework. We did not trim that, but we did trim this piece. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that onto our gold. Now you could have used a bigger piece of gold. I just chose to use a piece I had in my scrap pile that was the 2 1/4. The other thing you could do is cut this into 2 and just have gold, attach it to the back and front. So you have a little gold at the top and a little gold at the bottom. I just chose to trim down that blue a little bit. Perfect. All right. So now we are going to foam tape this piece. And when we foam tape again, I'm going to come just a smidge closer to the top. Not totally, but a smidge closer to the top so I have a little bit of room down in the bottom. So I'm going to choose to do this with foam tape. If you don't want to foam tape, of course you don't have to. Don't feel you have to. But I'm going to just do foam tape across my card. And you might want to watch your pattern if that matters to you. Do it how you like it. I always say don't feel you have to do it how it's meant to be. It is what is pleasing to your eye in this case. It's not like butterflies that need to go a certain way. So to me already, this looks fancier. We've added that gold foil. We've added the foam tape. Already, I'm in love with it. Right? Just dresses it up. Now we have the LOVE postage stamps. And we're going to foam tape those. Of course, you could do it flat. Across our card. Now, I don't stress and get out my ruler too much. You can use your centering ruler if you want. I'm going to start in the middle and just kind of work my way out and hope for the best. And we're not putting any kind of weight on these. So honestly, just one little piece of foam tape on the back is more than enough. I don't have to cover the whole piece. So I'm just going to put a piece there. A piece there. And a piece there. And lastly, a piece here. And if you're worried about, making sure that you're straight, a little tip that sometimes I do is I'll put a little bit of liquid glue on the back side of my foam tape. That gives me a little bit of wiggle time. But the other thing you could just do is just don't press down quite so hard so that you can move it. So I'm just going to gently place it. And I'm going to start with my two middle pieces. I'm going to kind of gently place those. I have not pressed down, so I can still move them. And see, because now if I put that there, then I can see that I'm going to come over just a hair. And then the last one. Oh, I think I need to, might have. There, let's move my over a little bit. Let's see if that works. I think that that's good enough. Good enough. Closies count. Don't overstress those kind of things. Yeah. And again, adding that foam tape, now you're getting that shadows. And that's just beautiful in my eyes. Oh, good, Frida. You could always catch us on replay. Never a problem. All right. Are you loving it so far? Just adding that gold foil. Gorgeous. So gorgeous. Okay, so you also have this little label die cut that says sending love your way. It's going to go kind of right like that. So I'm just going to put foam tape on the bottom because as you can see, it's going to lay over top of the first one, the strip. So I only want foam tape on the back. That's it. Only want foam tape down on the bottom. Let me straighten that out. And if you want to add foam tape on the top, or sorry, liquid glue on the top, you can. It's optional. You don't have to. So it's just going to look like that. Foam tape across the bottom, little liquid glue on the top. And when we put that on, we're going to come in a little bit from the edge. I'm going to come a little bit closer up. Underneath the postage stamps. I think that's probably good. Just kind of like that. So I am in maybe about baby finger width in from the right hand side. Okay, we've got this little flower cluster that was from your chipboard. And again, if you've missed some of these, don't stress, okay? Your card kit shows all of these pictures. There were times where I'm like, I think I have everything, and then I'm like, nope, I forgot it. So you'll see it right on there. So don't stress. You can always go back, and I'm actually going to even talk a little bit about that. I'm going to add a little foam behind that. And I'm going to put it kind of, I chose to actually put it right on the label. They did not, but I chose to put it right on the label, kind of like this. Now, I did go into my extra pile for something, and that was this little Forever and Ever, and it is optional. You don't have to do it, but I'm going to put it kind of right underneath, tucking it sort of under the flowers like that, just a Forever and Ever. You don't have to do this. Unfortunately, I did not bring my little Barely Art glue, so I'm just gonna go gentle with not too much glue on there. Would have been handy to have my tweezers today too, but that's okay. We can make this work. And I'm gonna tuck it slightly under, kind of like that. All right. And I don't, on mine, I didn't add any enamel dots to this one. You certainly can. We could put some enamel dots down here if you want, but I did not add any dots on this one. I thought it was kind of pretty just the way it was. It might be really nice. You know what? I'm going to take one of my baby ones and put it on the flower. Now that I see that kind of option, I'm going to take a little baby blue one and just pop it on the flower. Oopsie. Right? The gold layer makes a difference, I think. And that's why our first card was exactly, oh my gosh, my little enamel dot is just playing around with me. Get over, get over. Okay, good enough. First one was just plain. It was exactly what they told us to do, except that we added foam tape. And then this one, we added that gold layer. So when you buy these kits, don't hesitate to make them your own. That's kind of what our goal is. So we got 2 cards done so far. And I love that splash of gold. Okay, we're going to switch it up again. You can see how fast these kits are. I'm going to leave the one that we're switching up the most. So I'm going to go to the one that is the doves. This one I didn't switch up quite as much. I just switched it up a little bit. So find the one that was the doves. I found it a little bit hard to switch this one up, believe it or not. So we're going to keep this one fairly simple. Fairly simple. We are going to add a little bit of gold, but not a huge amount. And I think this one would be also a good one for wedding. It doesn't, you know, with the doves, I think you could get away with having it as a wedding card. We're not going to change this one up tremendously, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Then the last card, we're going to jazz her up. Now, on this one, I asked you to bring a little piece of gold. Was it this one? Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, little pieces, let's say 2 by 4. I could have probably had mine a little bit longer, but that's okay. I said 2 by 4. So we're going to take our pink and we're just going to glue it on. I did not add a gold border to this one, but you can if you want. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. Although in hindsight, maybe I should have added a little gold border, but I didn't. So if you want to add it, just don't glue it yet. You could always go back. If you do decide to add a gold border to this one, remember that you need to trim this pinkish, peachy paper a little bit. But I did not do it to this one. I just kept it pretty simple. The other thing is if you do want a white border, and sometimes Simple Stories does this, the paper will be slightly smaller, so you do get that white border, but it's optional. You don't have to. Okay. This one we're keeping nice and simple. Okay, so their idea is we just go ahead and glue this on like this and call it a day. I wanted to add a little bit of gold on each side. And like I said, I probably should have told you 4 1/4. If you have a bigger one, I would grab the bigger piece of scrap. But if you don't, I'm going to show you how to do it like I did. So the first thing we're going to do, because I told you 2 by 4, so we're going to make that work. I have a 4-inch piece. Let's cut it at 2. Snip and snip. Okay. Step 1. And then we're going to cut it in half again. Look at us go. Now watch me cut it the wrong way. Not that it really matters. Not at all. So we just cut it into 4 pieces. Do not stress this at all. Okay. Now you can choose to have, you can choose to do this with your liquid glue, or you can do it with your tape. It's totally up to you. I think I might do tape, but you could do this with your liquid glue. What we're going to do is put some adhesive down this strip on both sides. Okay, just down the long way. You can do this with liquid glue. Just do one side at a time with your liquid glue. I'm just going to prep this on both sides. Oop. And we'll put this like that. So I just have adhesive on both. If you're doing liquid glue, again, just do one side at a time. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one side. So I'm going to start with just one random side. I don't care which one it is. And I'm going to, let me do it and show you. I'm going to take it to the top, like so. Just quadrant number 1. Now I could have gone with a bigger piece. I did not. I think I was going to do a gold border around this and change my mind. Take another piece. I could have done it. I'll take the short piece. And we're going to do that on the bottom. Don't worry if there's a gap in the middle. It doesn't matter. I'm making do with what I have here. You could do this with, I brought a bunch of scraps because I always keep scraps of gold at home. But I'm just showing you, because I told you 2 by 4, 2 by 4, we're going to make this work. Like that, and again on the bottom. Now you can see I actually have too much gold. Is there such a thing? There's such a thing as too much gold. We'll just put this. Okay, and I know I made this way more complicated than I had to for you, but you can see how you can more or less take any of these and jazz it up. All right. Now, you do have options with this one. We are going to just foam tape this right into the center. But something else I did think about doing was cutting this in half and stretching it lengthwise. That is also an option. So don't feel that, you have to have everything always go the way they tell you. Because you have this large oval that's going to cover it, I could have split this and put this over here. Or I could do it like this. So sometimes you might want to play around with how you are working this, right? So I've only added gold to the sides. I'm going to foam tape this piece up. Hopefully I didn't confuse you all with that. It's a good way to show you how you can change things up. I'm going to to put a little piece of foam tape in the center of this for a good reason. We're going to build on it, and I want to have a little bit more stability in the center. This paper isn't super thick, so we're just going to build on that. And then I'm going to eyeball it in the middle, top to bottom, side to side, in the center. I think that looks good. Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe. Isn't that funny how you think it looks good and then you take another look and you're like, ooh, I need a millimeter over. Let's do it this way. Maybe I can see better that way. Okay. My eye's playing tricks on me. All right, so that's just a little bit of foam tape. And again, I'm not worried about those gaps in the middle because this big, long piece, big oval, is going to go right in the center. Now, I'm going to foam tape that oval just on the sides. I'm going to leave it flat in the middle, so a little bit of glue in the center. But as you can see, we need to support the sides. So I'm going to put a little bit on each side. I don't need a lot. Just a little bit. That's probably good. If you're not sure where to put it, we could do this. Kind of gives you an eyeball, and that tells me, maybe I should move that over a little bit. We can do that. Now I look good. And let's put just a little bit of glue here. It's a big space and I don't want it to buckle or do anything kind of crazy. So just put some glue there. And center it. Now, move it like, whoops, whoops, whoops. I think that's good. Maybe not. My eyes are playing with me today. That looks good. Go ahead and attach that. Now the next piece I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the doves, and they're going to get foam taped right on top. So we're going to add a little bit of foam tape to that to dress it up. We don't need to cover the whole piece. We'll just pick and choose little spots here and there. A little bit there. And a little bit there. Just like that. This is going to sit down towards the bottom. So the bottom of those banners, that bluey banner, you can see it's going to go to the bottom of your oval. I think that's good. And then we're going to add those. Okay. There it is. Okay, then we're going to take this, and I chose to pop this up as well. Of course, you could do it flat, but I did choose to pop it up. Just give it a little bit of dimension. That is your heart, your multi-hearts. So I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on each heart. Okay, so that is this piece here. We're just going to put that right above. I think that kind of looks good. And then I've got a couple of chipboard hearts that we're going to add in. So there is this mossy, kind of mustardy color one, and then there is the peachy one. So I'm going to start with the larger mossy colored, I don't know what color it is. I'm just going to add a dab of liquid glue to that one because, I'll show you where it's going to sit. I'm going to kind of put it like that. So it is going to go flat on top of those hearts. And then this peachy one, let's see. I think I'm going to put it right there, and I think I'm going to do the peachy one flat as well. So just a little glue on there. If you have tweezers, it's going to be very helpful to get it in that little space. Unfortunately, I forgot my tweezers. And I don't see any here, so we're just going to kind of pop it. I might move it around a little bit. See where, maybe I'll move it this way. Oops. Good thing the glue dries clear, because I just made a mess. So just tucked it in there. Of course, there's lots of options that you can place it. Perfect. Okay, now for this one, what I did with the enamel dots, and you can choose any color. I was going to choose the peachy color. So what I did is I took one of my large peaches and I put it in the center. Hopefully that's the center. And then I took the small, or the medium, sorry, and I put one on this side. And I put one medium on this side. And of course you can choose any color. Hopefully I did that. Yeah, perfect. Good enough. Just to add a little something there. All right, so the only thing we did different from the original on this one is I just added some gold foil to the strip below, and I added the pink dots, or the peachy dots. We have one more card to do, and that's the one that I totally changed up just to give myself a challenge. How are we doing? So far, so good? You guys are quiet. You're busy working. We've got 3 cards done. The next one I want you to find is your little baggie that says Forever in Our Hearts. That is the one we are going to change this one up. Very excited. Gonna totally, I mean, it's not totally, but closies count. Okay, so I'm gonna find everything, find that little baggie full of all of those. And I'm just want to show you that it doesn't have to always be exactly what they tell us. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's easier. If you're in a hurry, you can see that you can pump out these cards in 10, 15 minutes. But sometimes you want to make it your own. Okay, so find your card base. Go ahead and give this a good score. And again, for your homework, this was the one that I said optional. I'm going to use another piece of gold that fits on the front of your card. So let's hold that up. Oh, it looks fantastic. And glue that gold on top. Step 1. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in this measurement again because, as I mentioned, if we add gold, we have to trim down our pattern, because right now that pattern paper essentially covers the whole piece. So we need to trim this pattern paper down just like we did before, and it will be the same measurement. So 5 1/4 and 4. Nice easy measurements. So you're going to take that larger floral pattern and go ahead and trim it. 4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to give you that beautiful gold all the way around. Just makes a huge difference. Right? Takes it to the next level. Okay? Glue that on. So as I'm gluing, just going to remind you that we do have some kits left for this. if you do want one, please call us after the video or call Courtney, and we will hook you up. You might want an extra one just to have on hand. This is the Crafty Hour number 34. It does come with the enamel dots. And then tomorrow at 9 a.m. Holy smokes. I don't know how we made this one work, but tomorrow there's a new one coming. And it is so new that my samples are being overnighted so that you guys can hop on it fast. So we're very excited for that one. Okay, I'm gonna keep motoring here. So I just glued that on. And then we're gonna take this piece, this part of that card, and we're gonna trim it down to 5 1/4. 5 1/4. I'm actually happy I'm trimming it because it gives me a full scallop on that side, which if you know me, I like my full scallops. So 5 1/4. 5 1/4. Now the last piece of paper I told you to have in your homework, if you were doing the gold, was this piece that measures 1 by 5 1/4. That's your last piece that you needed, 1 by 5 1/4. I don't know if I made sure mine was 5 1/4. Oh, it is. Okay, we're done with the trimmer. Hallelujah. What we're going to do with that is we are just going to add the gold to the top only to the top. So for this, I'll just do a dribble of glue all the way across my top. Just like so. And we're going to add a little bit of gold showing at the top. They should be the same length, 5 1/4. There we go. All right, so far we're following the card. We're going to foam tape it across the bottom of the card. We're going to come up maybe about 1/2 inch from the bottom. Okay, where's my foam tape? Huh. It's getting small. I can't find it so easily. Okay. And as I mentioned, I'm super excited for the next Crafty Hour, which is our Easter Crafty Hour. That is going to be with Diane. The cards are absolutely amazing. We are getting low, so if you do want any, you'll need to give us a phone call ASAP to get on that one. It's gorgeous. We had a customer the other day say, you know, I keep thinking I don't need it, and then I see what you girls do, and I need it. Okay, so I foam taped that about 1/2 inch up from the bottom of the card. I didn't measure. Maybe I should have, but it's good enough. Okay, now we're changing up this card. So this is how this card was. And if you love it like this, of course you can do it. But I wanted to show you how you don't always have to keep it like that. So we're going to start with our oval. And I'm going to put the oval over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to do glue on the bottom, foam tape on the top. Okay, so glue on the bottom. I need foam tape on the top half. I'm going to be very careful I don't go past it. Glue on the bottom. I'll need foam tape on the top. And I decided to put the oval up and down. I'm just going to come in a smidge, and it's going to fit, no problem, top to bottom on your card. Okay, again, you can do it like they've done it. I'm just changing it up to show you that we don't always have to do that. It's okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do these kind of at the same time. So let's grab both of these, the Forever in Our Hearts and the heart, because we kind of need it for placement. Ooh, maybe I'll do it on an angle. Yeah, I think I will. Okay, so I'm going to start with the heart. I'm going to put some foam tape on it. I'm going to do these at the same time. And the reason is you're going to see that I'm going to kind of move things around so that they fit. So I've got foam tape on there. And then I'm going to take some glue. And I'm going to do this flat. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on it. I don't have to cover the whole thing. Ooh, I hear a ding-dong doorbell. That means my skid is here. Okay, and I'm going to kind of put this like this. So it's kind of covering that top gold bit. And I'm going to place this on an angle. Maybe move it up a little bit. And I'm just going to tuck it under because I want it to be under. So slide it over until you're happy with it. I think right there. Look at that. Now you could do this on an angle, kind of like what I did, or you could do it straight up and down. Totally up to you. Either or. Okay? So far, so good? Let's do the word hearts, forever in our hearts. We are going to foam tape this. I'm going to use the foam strips because, of course, that's going to fit really nice. I just take the backing off and then I just kind of maneuver it around the letters, making sure I don't see it. When I get to here, I'll just put a little scrap piece there. Oops. Like that. Okay. So foam tape on the back. And I'm going to put this right along the bottom. I think I'll do it right like that. That works. Right along the bottom of the pink. Oh, I think I'm crooked. There we go. Just like so. Good. Okay. Now in your card that you pulled, this is what it looks like. You have this little flower here. This is this one right here. So we're going to start with that one. I'm going to put a little foam tape on the back. And if I can find where my foam tape is, maybe a little foam strip. It's a little smaller. Okay. And I'm going to put this one right there, kind of like on the seam, right there. And then this one was one of the leftovers. This little floral guy was one of the leftovers. So you'll find him in your little extra pile. I'm going to put him on again with foam tape. Hopefully you got that little extra pile left over. I'll talk about that in a sec. And I'm going to put that one kind of like that, framing the oval. Ooh, I got one more minute. Okay. Now I've got some hearts. Let's see. We'll start with the larger mustardy color heart. I'm going to do that one with some glue. Little dab of glue, because he's going to hang on like that. And he should be good there. And then the pink heart, I'm going to take some of my foam strip and I'm going to double it. So see what I do? I just kind of fold a little piece in half. So this is folded in half. And on my heart, if my heart is upside down, I only want it on the right-hand side. Man, these are a little finicky guys. Just on the right-hand side because we're going to go like that and kind of overlap it. That leaves us with the blue heart, which I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it. I'm going to double a little piece. And again, only on the right-hand side. Okay, so that's what it looks like, only on the right-hand side. Because we are going to do the same thing. It's going to kind of touch. Did I hear a doorbell? Is our shipment here?
There was earlier, yeah.
Yay.
I'm not sure. I know someone went back there.
Just like that. Okay, I'm going to bring in my dots. I don't know what color. Maybe I'll go blue this time. Maybe I'll go blue. And I'm going to do a spattering up in the corner. Now, you could do it in a row if you like. I think I'm just going to do a little splattering. Oopsie. Well, that one goes where it goes. And we could always add a little bit. I feel like we could add some other little dots. Maybe, oh, I don't know. Do I overdot? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it. Sometimes you can overdot. Okay, so let me show you the difference between the two. Both of them are very pretty. Both of them are using the same materials except for the gold foil. But I wanted to show you that I don't want you to feel you have to keep things always looking the same. I felt that this one was very, very similar to this one. And that's why I chose that one to change up. So let's bring in my 4 cards. Okay, we are done. We got 4 cards done in an hour. So card number 1, I did exactly the same as the instructions except added foam tape. Card number 2 and card number 3, all I did to change that was add some gold foil. Okay, totally easy to do. We always have lots of scraps of gold foil. And card number 4, we took it up a notch, added gold foil, and changed it. Now you have in your little baggies here, lots of these little extra vines. And before I let you go, I just want to go through. Feel free to add these little vines to any of these cards, okay? So if you want, you can add just some extra like that, just to give it some oomph. There's some green ones that I think will go perfect there. You can add extra ones coming out the sides if you want. There's so many options. There's also some flowers. I didn't use a lot of these because I wasn't sure if Courtney was going to use some of them. There is pretty pink. Look how pretty that would look. That actually would look really nice right there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to add that one. But I didn't add too many because I want to give Courtney options if she wanted to add any. So you do have extras that you can feel free to add. They give you a few extras included. And that is my crafty hour. I hope you enjoyed seeing how you can take the kits and change them up and feel a little bit different with them. And as I mentioned earlier, there are extra kits at both of our stores. We know that this is going to be a popular one, so we did add extra to our main order, so feel free to grab another one. Canadian, they are $24. I'm sorry, I can't remember a US price, but that includes your full pack of the enamel dots, which Canadian is $6.99. So that includes it. $24, you get your enamel dots and 8 cards with your card bases. All right, I am going to sign off and get going for another crazy day here at Clipper Street. Don't forget, Courtney will be live at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Courtney time, and that will be on her page, which is the Scrapbook and Memories Facebook page. She's going to show you other goodies. She said to make sure you have some brown ink on hand. So it sounds to me like you're going to get a little inky. And then one last thing, I'll set up the event tonight when I get home for tomorrow morning. Can't wait to see you. I hope you love tomorrow's release. Going to go live at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks for joining me today and have a crafty day. Bye-bye.